What if the dating market is rigged against young men, until it suddenly becomes rigged in their favor? Imagine for a moment you're a 19-year-old man trying to find your future wife in today's mating climate. You're decent looking, 5'10", reasonably fit after going to the gym regularly since the age of 16. Your friends told you you're a high-tier normie. You have the prescription haircut and clothes. You have the correct phone, and you've watched all the latest RP tips on looks maxing, mogging, game, and female psychology. Yet women your age barely notice you. They're swiping on 35-year-olds who already have nice cars, apartments, money, status, and that calm, commanding presence you're still building. You feel invisible. It's frustrating beyond words. Fast forward. You hit 35, fit, accomplished, confident, competent, and congruently masculine. Suddenly, the same type of women who ignored you at 19 are looking your way. Smiles, looks, highs, and DMs. Now flip the script for her. She's 19, fertility at its absolute peak. Youth, beauty, and that untouched feminine energy. Men of every age orbit her like planets around the sun. Perhaps mosquitoes around a light bulb is a better analogy. Either way, the sudden barrage of male attention psychologically and emotionally affects her. It shapes her self-perception. She feels like a goddess, options everywhere. She's able to easily attract and be intimate with the most attractive men she meets in real life, on the apps, and on social media. She feels like she can't lose. Some women experience this revelation as a superpower. Men pay for everything, and she effortlessly and passively gets invited to new places and exciting experiences. By 25, she's still riding high. By 28, the messages start to slow down. She suddenly has to pay for her own drinks and vacations. By 30, the flood becomes a trickle. Almost no matches on the apps, no DMs. By 36, she's as invisible to men her age as you were to women your age at 19. Let's get the disclaimer out of the way. The topics discussed in this video are based on evolutionary biology trends and aggregated experiences. Not every individual follows the exact curve, and there are, of course, plenty of exceptions out there. Each person, both men and women, hits, or in the case of men, grows out of their wall at slightly different ages. Both sexes have a wall, but the wall on the men's side is the inverse of the one women face. The two walls are a biological reality shared by both sexes. Welcome to Prime Male Evolution, where we strip away the illusions and deliver the unfiltered truths that empower you to level up in a world gone soft. Today on PME, we're diving straight into one of the most controversial topics in modern dating, the wall. But we're not doing the usual one-sided hit piece. We're looking at the full picture, the brutal symmetry between the male reverse wall and the female wall, and the cold, karmic fairness baked into biology that modern culture desperately tries to deny. Look at this chart. Pause if you need to. Look at how steep that drop is after 30. Charts like this have been circulating in RP circles for years because the data and lived experiences of men and women worldwide keep confirming it. Women's market value explodes right after puberty, peaks around 20, stays extremely high through their mid-20s, then begins a steep, unforgiving decline as they approach 30. After 30, the decline accelerates hard and mercilessly. Let's talk about the men's side. Did you feel invisible at 19? Here's why, and why it flips later. The wall on the men's side is almost the exact opposite of the wall on the women's side. We're basically invisible from 18 to about 27. Then we climb steadily, hitting our peak around 38, exactly when women's SMV starts to flatline. Adult women enjoy around 10 to 12 years of high desirability on the mating market, and so do we men. Our period of high desirability just starts a decade later than theirs. This isn't opinion. It is the intersection of fertility, status, resources, and raw evolutionary preference. Young men in their teens and early 20s are living through a quiet struggle most women will never understand. These men have the drive, the hormones, the desire, but almost none of the traits women are wired to crave in the mating market: proven competence, social proof, resources, emotional control, a commanding voice, visible muscularity, pre-selection from other women, and that unshakable frame that only real-world trials can forge. So they get left on red. They get, "I see you as a friend. I have a boyfriend." One day you'll find the right girl who sees your value. "I'm not ready for a relationship right now." It's not you, it's me. They watch the same girls who say they want nice guys, chasing 34-year-old men who already built the life they're still working toward. That's the reverse wall that almost all young men are forced to live with. There are, of course, exceptions. Genetically gifted chads and guys born into wealthy families or fame. But the vast majority of young men experience complete invisibility. It is as if they don't exist in the eyes of the women they want. It's painful, it's invisible, it's lonely, and society tells them to just be yourself, while the marketplace ruthlessly reflects their undesirability. But here's the symmetry most people refuse to admit. That same marketplace eventually rewards many of these men, if they keep building. Now, the other side. A woman's SMV curve is front-loaded by design. Evolution gave her a short, explosive window of peak desirability because fertility is time-limited. Youth, clear skin, full lips, waist-to-hip ratio, that purity signal men are biologically drawn to. All of it screams prime reproductive value. From roughly 18 to 28, she is the most desired creature on the planet. Top-tier men, average men, and even older high-value men all compete for the opportunity to be intimate with her. Unfortunately, many women in this phase can misinterpret the ease with which they can garner short-term attention from men in the upper echelons of mate value as an indicator that they'll be able to secure commitment from one of these men. That is very rarely the case, and with every passing year, a new batch of highly desirable younger women enters the marketplace. No one is to blame for this. It's biology shaped by evolution. It's tough for everyone when biology and modern life clash. Write a comment about the age when you felt the shift. We need empathy for women, because sometimes it's psychologically easier not to have something and then get it than it is to have everything handed to you, only to have it ruthlessly ripped away. The evolutionary Darwinian totem pole, erected by nature over thousands of generations, cares about only one thing: reproduction and survival. The only thing that matters is the perpetuation of the species and the propagation of the strongest genes. Then biology flips the script. Fertility starts its measurable decline around 27 to 28. The cues men subconsciously scan for begin to fade. The God-given halo dims. Suddenly, the newly arrived 20-year-old gets almost all the matches, even if she's more accomplished. The novel boomer ideologies tells her that men should be attracted to her degrees, her career, her strength and independence, her travel experience, her bedroom experience, and her extensive social networks. Men aren't attracted to any of those things. None of them even moves the needle. Some of the traits she's told are desirable, but are in fact detractors in the eyes of most men. The same men who used to orbit her now pass her over for younger women. This isn't cruelty. It's not society's fault. It's the same cold evolutionary math that made young men invisible in the first place. By their mid-30s, many women notice a sharp drop in attention, mirroring the invisibility many young men face in their early 20s. It's the inverse timeline in action. The curve doesn't lie. The data doesn't lie. Here's the part modern culture hates. There is a cruel but strangely fair justice in this inverse timeline. Young men suffer invisibility, so they are forced to build fitness, status, competence, resources, and frame. Women get their easy mode years early so they can secure the best mate while their value is highest. It's all structured around their fertility arc. If both sides had played by the old rules, it would have balanced out beautifully. She locks in the resourceful, high-status man she wants during her peak. He locks in the woman during hers. Everyone gets what biology and evolution designed, but that balance has been shattered. The pill, dating apps, social media, and novel boomer ideologies created an artificially globalized supermarket that clashes violently with our innate human nature. Suddenly, the top 1 to 5% of men, the ones with the resources, looks, status, and game, can access thousands of women simultaneously. They have zero incentive to commit early. Why lock down a 29-year-old when 19-year-olds are still flooding his inbox? Meanwhile, millions of women in their prime years are told, focus on your career. Travel the world. You have time. You don't need a man. Sleep with whoever you want. No judgment. So they follow this prescription with top-tier men who will happily enjoy them for fun, novelty, and easy access, but will never commit to starting a family with them. Those same men are perfectly content stringing along dozens of objectively average women. These women's realistic matches, the solid men in their own age bracket who would have committed in a pre-app world, sit on the sidelines watching in solitude. The result? A generation of women hitting the wall with fewer options, extensive dating resumes, and a sudden panic when they realize that top-tier men often prioritize variety over early commitment. The market didn't become fairer. It became artificially globalized and biologically warped through technologies like social media and the pill. Men in your 30s, 40s, and 50s. This is your moment. You survived the reverse wall. You've built yourself. You've built a life. You built the status, the resources, the frame, the competence that young men are still grinding for. The curve is now on your side. You no longer have to compete with the 20-year-old version of yourself who got ignored. You are now the man women in their prime are turning toward when the party starts ending, when life is no longer on easy mode, but only if you stay disciplined. Don't become the 50-year-old simp chasing validation. Recognize the symmetry. You paid your dues early. Now get out there and take part in what life has to offer, but only from women who respect the timeline. And if you're watching, and you're a woman who still has time left on your clock, the honest truth is the same one we give men. The market doesn't care about your feelings or your ideology. It cares about fertility, youth cues, and realistic pairing. The earlier you align with reality instead of Instagram fantasies, the better your chances of securing the life you actually want. The wall isn't misogyny. Men's reverse wall isn't misandry. They are two sides of the same biological coin, a cold, symmetrical system that evolution built long before dating apps or empowerment slogans existed. Modern technology and ideology tried to hack that system. The results are exactly what you see every day in the dating market. Confusion, delay, regret, and a whole lot of people waking up at 29 wondering where their options went. Check out my video on age gap relationships if you want to dive deeper into these topics. Men in your prime. You already survived your invisible years. Now lead with eyes wide open. The curve doesn't lie, neither should you. Smash that like button if this finally made the timeline click for you. Comment below. At what age did you personally feel the shift in your own value, or watch it happen to people around you? Men. At what age did things start to change for you? Women. Thoughts on the symmetry of the reverse wall on the men's side? Subscribe and hit the bell. Next week, we're going deeper into how high-value men actually navigate the post-wall market without becoming the villain in someone else's story. This is Prime Male Evolution. You're in your prime. Own the curve.